Hello and welcome back to another Toy Soldier Reviews action figure video. Today we have the Marvel Legends Gamerverse Walmart exclusive Marvel vs. Capcom, not labeled, but War Machine vs. Omega Red. Shout out to Zoom 7000, one of my biggest supporters of all time on this channel, and also just since he kind of asked if I was gonna get it, and here you go. Now this wasn't a direct comment situation that I bought the figure because somebody commented it, but that might happen. So please comment below what you'd like to see next. But yeah, we'll get straight on into the video. Please like, subscribe, and share. Doing that helps my channel out a ton. Follow me on other platforms such as TikTok and Instagram. That helps me out as well. I'll get straight on into it. So for the packaging, same as we saw before with the Psylocke and Thanos packaging. As you can see, the two figures in the window, Legend Series, Gamerverse, and Warning, in this nice purple with some 8-bit War Machine versus Omega Red, War Machine in blue matching the character, and red and matching the character. Hasbro 4+ there, the nice galaxy on that side. Then over here we have a War Machine with the figure, or I guess the figure down here, and the 8-bit version right there with the name as well. Marvel Legends Series, Gamerverse on top, on bottom nothing but legal stuff. Same for Omega Red over here, except it says Gamerverse, and a picture of the figure and his name as well. On the back, you get a little battle here, showing also on the top rest of the figures. Psylocke and Thanos has been reviewed. Still waiting for Wolverine and Silver Samurai. Eventually, I'll get those too. Just your legal stuff down here. There is the bio right there if you want to pause and read that. Marvel Legends Series. We'll go ahead and open it on up. So same as every other character or any other figure. What we're gonna do is take this trusty old knife that I've been using, I think, since the beginning of my channel. We're doing it upside down here just because don't want to flip the box all the way around, or maybe might have to. All right, trying. There we go. Pull the tab. Pull this one as well. Flap it on open. Take it out on backwards. Put the box off to the side there. Here is the paper. Never use it, never will, and I usually throw it away. One tray here, which is nice to see. Popping out the accessories. Here's starting with War Machine here. Got the different hands. Popping those out. And then I believe this is in, yeah, there's taped in too. The little rocket there. Hopefully, there we go. Same for Omega Red over here. Maybe this doesn't have to be taking the tape off. There we go. The tiny tendrils. There we go. And we got the alternate hands for them. Pop those out. There we go. And there's that main figure. Pop those out. Put that there. And there we go. We'll take a look at these accessories. And here we are. Seeing these figures, first of all, side by side. I don't know how War Machine's winning this. Omega Red's I don't know, I guess 2 feet taller than him, I guess. But, so to start with War Machine here, we'll move Omega Red off to the side. His accessories comes with the swappable hands here, which are the non-articulated ones of the repulsor fire ring hands. Whoops. He has double of those. And they do look pretty nice here. You can see the peg holes for, of course, if you want to plug in whatever repulsor effects you already own. None come in this set. They are in a sort of shiny, also matte black sort of plastic. I will compare them to the retro card one I have, which obviously why I'm saying more matte, because in that one, the black is a lot shinier. Then for other hands, the only thing he has is these swappable fists that are already in the packaging. Then he also comes with the cannon, or I guess his main ability here, and this tiny little rocket here as well. I believe we'll look more into it on playtime here, but the rocket does look very nice with some yellow there. The rest is sculpted. Oops, there is a tiny little thing plug-in hole there. I don't know where this goes exactly. Maybe I'll find it out more. And then same with this rocket one. Or I guess this is for the, I believe you plug it on those like little clear stands they have, because there's also one on the giant blast effect. The white into the orange does look good. There also is the cannon that you obviously plug it in here. But the cannon also does look very, very nice. It is different than what else we've gotten, which I'll of course do during playtime. And obviously pop it on the shoulder, which again, we'll do in playtime. So stay tuned for all that. So pretty decent for War Machine here. I mean, he is, I think, a little bit new chest-wise, but we'll look at all that detail later. Putting him off to the side for Omega Red here, which is kind of the main reason I already bought it, because I wanted to buy it because this Omega Red did look very, very nice. So for accessories, he has two tiny versions of the, I guess, tendrils, which can obviously plug into his hands here. You can swap them, match them however you want, or however size you want. I believe so. I'd hope so. Maybe not. No, yeah. You should be able to. Just plug them in. Like so. So pretty good there for the tiny ones. Then he does have swappable hands with swappable, just a gripping hand, or I guess an open palm hand and a fist hand, just to make it equal here. And the Omega symbol painted on the silver does look very nice. Now the fist looks a lot bigger, the symbol looks a lot bigger, and it looks a lot smaller on the gripping hand. And looking at that, it does match the also other hands, but it is kind of weird that his logo changes sizes. And then for his hand here, the nice little rings around the fingers, or I guess the joint part of the fingers, does also look really good. It's also sculpted on here on the fists. And then he does have sort of longer, he does have longer tendrils for more display ability, which also the sculpts look very nice. They are different. As you can see, this one's more coiled up and this one's more sort of spread out. I wish they could eventually down the line implement bendy wire. So we'll take a look at each figure individually, starting with, we'll go with War Machine. Now, I do not own the original War Machine, but here's the retro card I won, which is just reuse, I believe, of the two figures. So looking at them, obviously the difference is colors, and then the chest is different, and the shoulder pads, the head, the gauntlets, and I believe the legs are the same here. And yes, both pinless. So just looking at that wise, those are some differences with the figures, because the shoulder pads here are a lot bigger, and they also have just these separated lines. As you can see, these ones are a lot smaller. The gauntlets here doesn't have the arm cannon or just the tiny little stuff here. This one is also a lot more bigger and exaggerated because it is part of the video game here. It does have some nice sculpt to it though. The middle there, the lines as well. And then obviously, of course, the colors. The blue is kind of growing on me with the black. Now, it's not my favorite look. That's why I got this one, because I like the white a lot better. But this would more closely match the deluxe version with the silver. And as you can see, the chest is different with this belt piece here. The belt is it's just like a plain belt, doesn't have any pouches like this, and just has this silver part. I guess the underwear, the trunks here does have different sculpted down there. And then the back wise, I guess this has two cannons, but only one articulated there. The rest is gone. And then the chest is a little bit different with the armor. And this one has, you can see, has more stuff layered on top. This one just has kind of plain, has this sculpted line here and the bigger bigger arc reactor. The lines are there's a lot more of them going up to the chest. And then the back here is all clear. As you can see, this one has this sculpted on. And yeah, overall, and then of course the top is changed. And then the head sculpt here is different. It kind of looks like it has two teeth. This one does as well, but as it is layered up a bit, as you could see. And it's more rounded up at the top. There's a flashlight here with looks like painted. You can't see the painted part there. Also on the side here, just like the head doesn't have as much stuff on top as it did here. And then the line sculpted on top, this is more separated, and this one has a lot more. So yeah, that is pretty good. And then articulation, I would believe, would be practically the same. And then like I said, the calves, or I guess knee down is the same, or I guess the thighs are the same too, right? Yeah, the legs are the same, but we'll take a look at the articulation anyway. So the articulation here, he's gonna look about that far up, so not a whole lot up. That far down, it is stopped by the giant chest here. Or I guess it can shift in and out because there's two different. There's the head one, and then there's a neck joint, which as you can see, you can get him a whole lot around. Now, I don't believe the other one had that. No, did it? No. This one was sculpted in. This one has an actual neck joint. But side to side there, you can't see. The head does rotate around, and also does the neck. I'm just now realizing that this is a separate piece. It can't be taken off. I'm gonna plug it back in though. But yeah, that's pretty decent to see, I guess, there. So just be careful when you're doing that. And then for the arm here, it's gonna get about that far up. Stops because of the shoulder pad. There is no butterfly. Can swivel around. Bicep swivel up top though. The shoulder joint, or I guess the shoulder ball there is black and the bicep is blue. There is bicep swivel, pinless, double elbow is gonna get you about right there. The gauntlet's way too big to get it any farther. And then there is no gauntlet rotation. Hand swivel all the way around, side to side hinge there. The repulsor hands, like I said, do not articulate at all. For the chest here, going back, he's that far. Going forward, not a whole lot. There is waist swivel. Leg kicks out, forward, and back. There is thigh cut. Pinned double knee here. Only gets you about that far. There is no calf cut. Ankle pivots down, up, and a bit of rocker. So pretty decent articulation. Like I said, not a really whole lot different compared to the retro carded, or I guess the deluxe as well. So pretty good there, other than I believe the neck joint. So we'll take a look at Omega Red now. Now for Omega Red, this is my first one. I do not own the 5-pack, and I don't own the Sauron one. Now I have seen the 5-pack in person, except it was about 10 feet above my head on a shelf at a comic store that's near me. Now first thing I'm noticing is some QC issues. Just my luck, or maybe it's just everybody, but the belt seems a little shifted with the silver square off to the left a little bit there. I don't know if you can tell, but I guess you kind of can, like that. And then he likes to lean forward. He's very, very top heavy. Now as you can see, he is pinned down here and pinless up top. Now I wish he was fully pinless, but once again, I don't think Hasbro wants to do that, but yeah. But here for the rest of the detail, he does look pretty nice. The whites and the reds and the silvers all do look good. I know that the 5-pack one did have these on the inside. These were painted white along with the tendrils that were also painted white. So it's good to see that that's painted silver. The silver matches these, I guess, the canisters here on the overlay, which also matches the belt. The little knee braces here do look good as well. Like I said, the silver paint on the back of the gauntlets with the different shapes, like this one's a lot bigger, or this one's a lot smaller, and this one's a lot bigger. I don't know why, but I guess that's just how they wanted to do it. I do wish there was articulation here. I was playing around with the figure a bit, and there is no like rotation. So like, I mean, this is just kind of how it is, but it's all right there. The shoulder pads are pretty big here and do look nice with the red painted in the middle and the silvers on the side. And then not much going on the back. There is some wrinkling here and just some texture. And then the feet, I believe we've seen before with like the Venom and the Sabretooth. Believe this is just, I think this is not, no, it's not Caliban. I think it is the Omega Red body, right? That's what the reuse hit of that was, but it does look pretty good here. And then for the head sculpt wise, he does look very nice. The ponytail is articulative, but the hair does have this nice, just this nice blonde color to it with some darker shades of washes painted all over it here. Does look good. The red band for the ponytail, also on the top with the Omega symbol. And just the face itself, I'm gonna try and move the camera, make it look a little bit better. But yeah, the eyes do look good there. Just the open, like screaming face does look good. I mean, this is all the only we get, but for like a battle 2-pack, it is kind of nice. The stuff going on the sides of the mouth is painted in the nice silver. The hair is just a bit wild there, but it's not gonna hinder. Well, I guess it will hinder. Of course, obviously the back here will under some articulation, but it doesn't hide much of that detail shining through that face sculpt. So yeah, we'll take a look at his articulation. So like I stated, Omega Red ponytail can move however you want it to pose. And then for the head here, there is not a lot of tilt, just a tiny bit there. It can rotate side to side, not really all the way around because of the ponytail, but for looking back, he's not gonna look that high up. And he looks a little bit more farther down. Then for the arms here, that far up, there is a butterfly, so this far forward and this far back, you can see it up in there. So pretty good there for the butterfly joint. Arm can rotate all the way around. You just have to maneuver it past the giant shoulder pads here. Bicep swivel, pinless double elbow here. It's gonna get you about that far. Like I said, no gauntlet rotation, wish there was. Wrist do side to side hinge and swivel all the way around. None of them have trigger finger, not necessary. And for the ab crunch, he's gonna get that far back and about that far forward. There is waist swivel there. And then for the legs, kick that far forward, pretty far back, and not a whole lot out, but it's all right. Thigh cut will break up the musculature. Pinned double knee is gonna get you that far. No calf cut either, but ankle pivots down, up, and a bit of rocker there. So yeah, we'll go to playtime for both of these figures. So playtime wise, there's not a whole lot to do with Omega Red just because I don't have any other versions. But other than that, I mean, you can just plug these effects in however you want. You can plug in the smaller ones and you can plug in the bigger ones. You can mix match however you please for whatever hand you please. But mainly what I wanted to do was this War Machine here. Now for the cannon, you obviously can plug it in. Oh, hold on. Plug it in like so. Maybe, there we go. And that will look very, very neat. You can also plug this in so you can do the main cannon thing. It does swivel, of course, side to side, then of course the up and the down. So if you can either have them like that, it also can rotate. So I guess he has his cannon down and then he goes into attack mode, which is good to see. I don't think the rocket can fit in there, no? Maybe, I mean, kind of, but it doesn't look too good. Yeah, because there is the pegs. I believe those are for the bottom part. But trying to plug in the other War Machine effects does not work, obviously, since they're not shaped like it. But like I said, you can change the hands here. And then if you have some repulsor effects there, you can, of course, plug it in here. And he will look good. Now, one thing I wanted to try with the main playtime segment here is with the other War Machine. If the pegs, so I'm gonna take this cannon off, are the same. So we'll put this here and maybe take this one off. They look about the same, so maybe they can work. Yeah, it is just a little bit of a loose fit, and the blues are a little different. And the blacks do match up pretty well. So if you want to change it and have your War Machine with different sort of, I guess, artillery up top, you can do so. You can put this War Machine one on the new Gamerverse, and you can put the Gamerverse one on the older figure. So yeah, that's pretty good. That's what I like to see when I mean playability and playtime wise, is I like to see the mix matching stuff you can do with other figures that you already own or accessories you already own. So yeah, pretty good there. We'll get into some scaling. So for War Machine first, here are some comparisons with the retro one that I used over on the right during this video. And this is the modular Iron Man from the Ursa Major Build-A-Figure wave, which is kind of what he looked like in Marvel vs. Capcom. I know there's the actual figure of it that comes with the giant arm cannon. So for now, this kind of works. I mean, especially with the golds and the blues here matching very nicely, it does look good. And for some other Capcom characters love that we've gotten in the line recently, we have the Marrow from the Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave and the Thanos from the Psylocke 2-pack. Then same here for Omega Red. Here we have him next to the Capcom related characters with Marrow and the Thanos from the Psylocke 2-pack. But just because the packaging says Gamerverse doesn't mean you can't put him in your comic display at all. Here he is next to the astonishing X-Men Wolverine, and these two look very, very good next to each other. So overall, were these two characters we necessarily needed as an upgrade? Not really, but if you want to complete that Marvel vs. Capcom roster, these characters are definitely a must. Now I know there's some controversy on this specific War Machine, that if it's the concept art or the actual in-game model. Now I haven't played the game in a really long time, and I honestly don't really care. It's a really nice looking War Machine in my opinion. I like the colors, the accessories are also nice. This Omega Red is also very good. Also, like I said, you could also put him in your comic display, which is probably where he's going. This War Machine either is going to go on my Hall of Armor or maybe actually in the Gamerverse section, because there's not a whole lot to go for my Gamerverse section, so I guess he can fit there nicely. And I'm not collecting the Jada Toys Capcom figures at all, not really wanting to, because I mainly focus on Legends. But yeah, overall, I'm going to give this 2-pack a solid 8 out of 10. Now, for a Walmart exclusive, it is pretty good. I mean, like, if they put that Captain America and Venom one as a Walmart exclusive, I know people would be just obliterating everybody to find that. That would have been off of store shelves. So I'm glad that they chose this specific 2-pack as the Walmart exclusive. Now, we all know the problem between the Psylocke and Thanos 2-pack, but things I've experienced lately is that, especially with Target exclusives, that anytime I purchase them, it's when they're in their peak, really hard to find. I'm like, oh my gosh, I finally found it. Like for the Jean Grey and this Professor X Savage Land figure, and this recent Psylocke and Thanos 2-pack. It took me forever to find those. And now, all I see on shelves is straight just like 12 Jean Greys, just in a row with like 4 Savage Land Professor X's and like 4 the 2-packs. I'm like, wow. So I spent all that time looking for it just to find out 2 weeks later, or like maybe like a month later, that's all that's on store shelves, peg warming. So I don't know why that always happens to me. I don't know if that happens to you guys. So for these new Mystique and that Wolverine, I'm probably gonna lay off and wait, because especially with the newest mini comics wave, that's all I see in stores on the store shelves. And now I'm looking online and seeing that some of them are going for $12. And same with that Spider-Man retro wave. The Frankie Ray Electro is like 12 bucks on Amazon. So I'm like, wow. So I want to buy them ahead of time and buy them at like $24.99 just to find out if I wait that they're that cheap. But like, it's a gamble with these figures. Like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna be that cheap or if it's gonna be like $50 for a $20 figure. So I don't know. But that's all I have for you guys today. Please like, subscribe, and share. That helps my channel out a ton and lets me know that you guys like the videos. Please comment below any questions or anything you want to see in the future. And yeah, also follow me on other platforms such as TikTok and Instagram. That also helps my channel grow on different platforms and just brings everybody back to this central location. And that's all I have for you today. Toys Filter Reviews, out.